Welcome to our fourth week of the OpenHPI course about internet security. In this week, we want to discuss the consequences of the fact that the internet is an open network, that the transport routes are unsafe. Reason is, the internet is a network of networks. And networks that are provided by different partners that are interconnected by intermediate systems. And so it is open. It is open, that means that the transport routes are accessible to everyone and that the transport routes are not protected. Everyone with access to the internet can use the internet. This is the reason for the big success, for the popularity of the internet, but it has a lot of consequences when we speak about security. Also, the internet technologies are publicly known. They are mainly based on open, freely accessible standards, so everyone who is interested about the functionality of the internet can get insight to this technique. So the internet is not a private network. On its way from the sender to the destination to the receiver, the data packets are transported through the different networks which are on the route the data package has to take from the sender to the destination. The different networks which are passed by the data are run by different authorities. So here typically the way is open, and this is of course a very good situation for hackers, because hackers, they can see what's transported through the internet. They can listen, they can steal, they can even manipulate the data on its travel through the internet, and they can act under a false name. We will see what kind of consequences this has. So what we have planned to do in this course week, that we start with the first repetition to see how the data are transmitted on the internet and which intermediate systems are used. And we discuss which dangers lurk in the especially open wireless networks in the Wi-Fi's. Then we intend to present the various dangers and attack opportunities which are based on the design of the internet. So we will consider eavesdropping. Eavesdropping, that means that it is possible to listening to the messages, to look to the data packets on their open transport route. Another danger, another attack opportunity is spoofing. Spoofing is to be active with a faked sender name. So an email, for example, with a wrong sender address, a person that's familiar with another person. So this helps the attackers to attack, to get access to special data or to attack a website. And this spoofing attacks is possible on very different levels in the internet. Another type of attacks are so-called man-in-the-middle attacks. Man-in-the-middle attacks, that means that even when two users create a secure connection line between them, and if for an attacker it's possible to place him or herself in the middle of these two users, then he or she can listen to what they exchange, what kinds they exchange, and can even manipulate this data which are confidential. Another group of attacks consider services in the internet, services like the World Wide Web, like email and others. They are very popular, so for the attackers it makes sense to attack gateways to break into server systems or do other things to get access to the data of the people, to be able to manipulate them, to see what they are doing in others. Due to its huge success and proliferation, the World Wide Web, of course, is one of the most popular attack targets on the web. These attacks run against two sides. The attacks run against the user and misuses vulnerabilities in the browser, which allows the attacker to target computers and devices of the internet users. And on the other side, attackers attack the web servers of the providers, of the service providers. They try to manipulate them in such a way that these servers themselves became attack tools. And then, in an excursion, we discussed so-called APTs, Advanced Persistent Threats, as currently the most advanced attack technology. One example is from such APTs are Stuxnet, and I am sure you have heard about this APT, by which Iranian centrifuges were attacked and destroyed. This Stuxnet is a typical example for such an APT. And then, at the end of the course week, we will discuss effective protective measures. Protective measures against attacks, particularly on the open transport routes in the internet. So I wish you fun and some new insights.